the partial quotients method to help you find the quotient of two whole numbers. Today we're actually going to build on those strategies and learn a new strategy that's going to help you find the quotient of two numbers. So by the end of this block, 100% of you will be able to use long division to find a quotient of two whole numbers when the quotient is a whole number, right? Quotient referred to division, okay? So when I say go, I would love you to open your workbooks to page 187. If you're already there, give me a thumb up. If you're not there, get there. And you got 5 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cool. Some of us need to work on our speed. Okay, so we're looking at 10.1. You're just going to take, I'm going to give you 2 minutes. You're going to estimate the quotient for 500 divided by 7. I'm not going to worry about number 2. I just want you focused on our first one as a little way to get the juices flowing. So silent solo, 2 minutes. Estimate the quotient of 500 divided by 7. Go ahead. When my timer goes off, I want you to share your strategy with your shoulder partner. So it's an estimation. You're not coming up with an exact answer. Right, in about 30 seconds, you're going to share your thinking with your shoulder partner. Everyone should have an answer. What do you think? 500 divided by 7, what would be your estimation?
Oh, I have to estimate. I have to.
Nope, you don't need the exact answer in this estimation. Great. Go ahead and share your answer with your shoulder partner and your strategy. Go ahead. You're going to do the estimation.
What strategy did you guys do?
I think it's 70 because 7 times 7 is 49. And I feel like 49 is
What strategy did you do?
I did partial quotient.
$7, right? Okay. All right, bring it back 3. Bring it back in 2. And sounds off in 1. So what was a strategy that you and your shoulder partner came up with to help you figure out the estimate for 500 divided by 7? Looking for a strong hand. Volunteer. Christelle, start us off. Make sure to speak it up a little bit, please.
I chose 70 because 7 times 7 is 49, and it was the closest to 50. And then I added the 0 from the 500.
And that would give you what, about 490? Right, 7 times 7 is 49, right? Cool. Yeah, that's the same strategy that I took. Did anyone else have a different strategy? Elisha?
I basically was just made it multiplication, and so I have 71.42, and that equals 499.8.
even more exact than I got, right? So today we're actually going to, if you were actually going to do 500 divided by 7, actually out, you're going to get a long-winded decimal, right? That's why they were asking for the estimation. Okay, today we're actually going to be working on solving division equations where our answer, or that quotient, is going to be result in a whole number, okay? Thrilling, I know. Okay, so we're going to take a look at 10.2. LIN uses long division, okay? So your next task is, now we're going to look at long division. So take a look, take 1 minute, silent solo, and I want you to observe the way in which LIN went about solving for 657 divided by 3. Your thinking job is, how is LIN's method similar to the partial quotients method that you learned last week? Okay, what is similar about this process? Okay, you're gonna have like 30, I'll give you 1 minute silent solo, and then you're gonna jump into a turn talk with the shoulder partner. Okay? So how are these two methods similar? You can be resourceful and flip back to the partial quotients method if you can, in less than 9 if you can't remember. Shout out to Sky and Androne in Milan and Irene for being resourceful and looking back at that partial quotients method so they can figure out the similarity. Talk to your shoulder partner. How are they similar? Go.
They're similar.
What? No, talk to me. How are they similar?
On the partial quotients in this, similar because like it's a simpler way to divide your numbers.
How so?
Because like
So how is this process similar to when you were solving your partial quotients? Do these numbers represent the same thing?
yeah,
Okay. But when you did partial quotients, instead of just writing a 2 up here, you would write what? 3 goes into 600 how many times? 2 times? Only 2 times or 200?
200.
200, right?
Yeah.
All right, bring it back in 3. Sounds off in 2. And sounds off in 1. 100% of friends in the submark back. Nice job. Also earning a splash point. Demonstrating the strong scholar habits. We love that for you. So now, let's talk. How is this method similar to partial quotients? Everyone was engaged in the side conversation, so there should be way more hands up. Elisha, get us started, and then Ken, go ahead.
They only bring one number at a time, and when they can't divide, they bring the other number down.
Okay, Kenny.
They're also similar because even though they're different numbers, they both give the same answer.
Interesting. Anyone have any other thoughts? What about the setup? Is the setup the same? So show me a sign of agreement if you think the setup for solving by long division and partial quotients is the same. Show me agreement or disagreement. See, lots of agreement, right? So let's explore this a little bit. So I want everyone to look here at this very first step. When Lynn divides 657 divided by 3, she goes ahead and divides 6 by 3 and got 2. Does it matter, or did it matter where she put the 2? So show me agreement or disagreement. Does it matter, Michael, where she placed the 2? Okay, I've seen a lot of agreement. Why? Why does it matter? Turn, talk to your shoulder partner. Why did it matter where she put the 2? Go.
Say that if she would have put the 2 in the middle, like she wouldn't get the answer right, because like the right answer is supposed to be 219, and like you're not supposed to like switch it up. It's supposed to go in the right categories.
What if she did?
Goes into 3. If you put it in a different place value, you can get confused and get it mixed up, and then get the wrong answer.
What did you guys talk about?
So I said that it's important because it keeps everything in line and order
What did you say?
so that the place value stays in order.
What did you guys talk about?
He said that the reason why the 2 matters is because if you have the 2 in the wrong area or the wrong place value, it can mess up your numbers.
Ending in 2 and tracking here in 1. Why does it matter? Why does it matter that the 2 is placed over our 6? Michael, start us off.
It matters that the 2 is placed over our 6 because if the 2 is not placed over our 6, we can mess up our place values.
Okay, I like that. Bill, someone build on what you just said. Joe, what do you think?
Or you could get the wrong answer.
Okay, so sure, if you don't line up your place values, sure thing, you're gonna probably skew your answer. Anyone else? What did we just do? Right? With 657, did we just divide 6 by 3 or something else by 3? Yeah, which is what? What place value is this, everybody? Hundreds. Everyone say it. Hundreds. Right? So we just divided $600 between 3 friends. Right? If I had $600 and I split them between 3 friends, did each person get $2? No. How much money did each person get? 200. Right? So where you put your value matters, right? You need to put it in the hundreds place value. Okay? After writing the 2, Lynn goes ahead and subtracts 6. Why? We just established, right, that this was not $2, but 200, right? We go ahead and multiply 2 times 3, we got the 6. Why do we subtract 6? Why do we subtract 6? Brandon, sit up, please. Evan, what do you think? Okay, 3 times 2 is 6, and yes, are we subtracting 6 or are we subtracting 600? 600, right? We already shared that out. Now we're moving on to our next place value, which is our tens. Very good. Okay? In the CFS, when you guys go through this process, right, it's going to be divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, repeat. Okay? In lining up that place value, you're going to notice that if you get sloppy, it's going to impact your end result. I also have graph paper for those friends who need more of like a scaffold and help with keeping those numbers in order. Okay. So with that said, what I want you to do is on the bottom of page or somewhere, if you have a packet, you can put it at the bottom here. Or if you have your workbook on page 186, you're going to go ahead and write the following. We're going to do 912 divided by 4. So take a moment and write that. 912 divided by 4. We're going to walk through the process together. And I'm actually going to put it on a visual anchor that will live in space in case you guys get stuck. So looking at looking at 912 divided by 4. Okay, let's go ahead and start the process. So where do I start? 9 divided by 4 is what? 9 divided by 4, everybody. Or how many times, how many times can 4 evenly go into 9? 2 times, very good. So where's that 2 going to go? Am I going to place it over the 9, the 1, or the 2? And why? Am I placing my 2 over my 9, the 1, or the 2, and why? So you guys say 9. Why? Quiet hand, please. Don't fall out. Quiet hand. Michael, why over the 9?
Because that's where we are starting.
That's where what?
That's where we start.
Great, and It's 900ths, right? 900ths divided by 4, right? So 2 times 4 is what? 8, very good. And now we subtract. 9 minus 8. 1. Now we bring down. Okay? How many times does 4 go into 11 easily? Raise your hand when you know. How many times, or how many groups of 4 can we easily make out of 11? Christelle? 2, okay? 2 times 2 is 8. Sorry, 2 times 4 is 8, my bad. 11 minus 8 is what? 3. And I'm going to bring down my 2. Make sure you're doing this with me, please. Everyone's pencils and 2 paper. This should be living in that book. 32 divided by 4 is what? 8, okay? So then the 8 goes here, over my 1s, and we have 8 times 4 is 32. If I get 228 as my quotient, right, how could I go about checking to see if I was correct? How would I check my work? Because this is actually a really important thing, skill and habit that you guys should get into. How can you check your work? Same hands, everyone should have a hand up. How can we check our work? John?
You could, to check our work, you could do 4 times 228.
John says 228 times 4, right? Great, so what I want everyone to do right now, just to double check to make sure we are right, I want 100% of us 30 seconds. Go ahead and check your work. 228 times 4. Give me a thumb up when you have an answer. $100% of pencils to paper, checking their work, just like Rennie, just like Sandra. Jose, also give me that thumb up that he has answers. Okay, so multiplying all values by 4. You got it. You got it. Why did I call him?
Yeah, because I
Can you vertical calculation here? So set up vertically just like that. Good. All right. So let's see. Makai, what'd you get? When you multiply 228 times 4, what did you get? Daniel, what did you get?
Wait, what was the question?
When you multiplied 228 times 4, what did you get? When you checked your work? 912. So that means we can be satisfied with our result. Okay? So that's going to be a requirement moving forward every time you do long division. So what I want everyone to do now is I would like you to flip to, I want everyone to take a look at 10.2, question number 2A, which reads 846 divided by 3. I want you to take the next 2 minutes on page 188 and solve 846 divided by 3 using that long division strategy we just practiced. You guys can go ahead and dive in. You guys can finish this in 2 minutes. Look at a good challenge. There it is. 846 divided by 3. Some graph paper if you would like to use this to help you with lining up your digits. Use this to help you. Pencil to paper. I want you to do this, it might help you. So line up all those studs. So how many times? Now it adds a grade. Grade start. How many times does 3 go into 20? You got it?
times 3 is 6.
Line up those values on the
Use this. This will help you. Good job. Move on to a B. Good job. You got it. Where's your answer? 32. Great.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, bring that. Pencils down. 3, 2, and 1. Shayla. How you doing? Let's see, Sandra, what do you got? Sandra says 282. Show some agreement if we also got 282. Many of you did. I'm not going to spend time going through this one since like over 90% of you guys got that. So we're going to jump actually to B. We're going to progressively increase the rigor here. Okay, so for B, you are taking, I'll give you 2 minutes. You're going to do 1,816 divided by 4. And then we're going to get to some double digit. Okay, take 2 minutes. Silent solo. Go ahead. You go a minute to get started, and then I'll start to make my rounds.